Are we in a housing bubble? I think I've heard this question go out every year in the past 6 years that I've been involved in real estate. Every year I've heard this question. And before I even go into it, before I even go into that question, let's get this cleared straight away because I hear some people wanting there to be a real estate bubble crash, whatever. And for those people, before we even touch on the question, I would ask them to be a little bit more educated on this topic because if there is a real estate market crash, that typically means people can't afford homes, right? And if people can't afford homes, that means they don't have the money for it. If they don't have the money for it, probably means they don't have a job or they don't have income to pay for the house that they want. And if that's the case, we're probably in a recession. And I don't know about you, but I do not want to go through another recession. I know my family was impacted the last time we had one. I don't want to go through it. I'm sure you don't want to. I'm sure nobody wants to go through it. So if you're wanting there to be a bubble or housing crash, because thinking that means that prices are going to go lower and you're going to be able to afford it at that point, I would just say get a little bit more educated on what comes with a housing market crash if that were to happen. Now that we touched that, let's talk about, are we in a bubble? I want to talk about who does this actually concern? Because you see these questions all the time. You see these headlines on if there's a housing bubble. Now, who does that matter to? Let's talk about the audience, that if this question is actually important to answer, who it's important for. And it's really just important for homeowners or soon to be homeowners in the next few years. Now, why am I saying that? What if you're buying a house right now and you're saying, what are you talking about? It matters to me if we're in a bubble. Here's why I'm telling you it only matters to homeowners or soon to be homeowners who are looking to make a move and sell their property or refinance their property in the next few years. And I'm going to tell you why. If you invest in the stock market, you've probably heard the saying, you don't check the ticker price every single day, right? You don't check your stocks every single day, or at least maybe when you first start investing, you probably do because you're excited by it and you're getting used to it. But after a while, you don't look at the stock price every single day because why? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter day to day the swings of a stock. What matters is long term, what you're planning on doing and what your goals are. And the same thing can be said with housing, right? If you're a soon-to-be homeowner or a homeowner who's looking to cash out or refinance, the value of your house, the environment we're in, totally matters, right? Because you're at some point in the next few years, you're planning on selling your home and you need the money for it. Or you're planning on refinancing your home so you can pull cash out for whatever reason. So in those two instances, those two examples alone, that's where you're going to want to know exactly where we are in the market because you're going to want the most amount of money for your home. Any other scenario, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we're in a bubble. It doesn't matter if there's a crash coming in regards to housing. If you're a soon-to-be home buyer and you're wondering, what is he talking about? It matters to me because I'm looking to buy a house and I want to know where we are in the market. Well, if you're not going to be moving in less than 5 years and less than 10 years, it really doesn't matter. Just like with stocks, real estate is a long-term game. And if you're keeping it for the long haul, it's going to go up. It's going to appreciate as long as you actually buy a house that's actually livable and usable and that's in a decent location. That's not, a shed behind someone's backyard. It's actually a house. Everything in here's what I'll say. Real estate will appreciate in the long term. So it's all about the long game when it comes to real estate. So if you're thinking about, I'm going to buy a house soon, but I'm not really going to move for another 10 years, it doesn't matter if we're coming into a bubble. It doesn't matter to you because real estate's a long-term game. So whether we're in a crash or not, you see those headlines, just consider who this is for and who it's important for. If you're not looking to sell in the next few years, just ignore the headlines because it really doesn't matter. Now, of course, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in the next few years. If you ask me, there might be a little bit of a correction in prices at some point. You would think that with how high interest rates are continuing to go. But again, if you're not looking to move, if you're not looking to cash out refinance in the next few years, it really doesn't matter. And nobody can really predict where we're going to go. I mean, who knew we were going to be in a pandemic for 2 years wearing masks? Nobody really knows where we're going to be headed to. But based off the information, we'll see how this shakes out and turns out. And again, try to stay away from the headlines. They do more to scare you than educate you. So unless you're looking to sell in the next few years or cash out refinance, make sure to pay attention. Make sure to pay attention where the market is. Otherwise, just do what you need to do to go on with your life. And if you're looking to find a home, just find a home that you're happy with, that you're willing to stay for the next 5, 10, 15 years, whatever your timeline is. So those are some thoughts on exactly where we're on the market today, and when you see those headlines, what to think. So if you have any other questions you want answered, feel free to shoot me a DM, and I'll be happy to answer those questions and maybe shoot a video about those too. Hopefully you have a great Monday, and I will talk to you guys later.